Here are today's top stories. The government commits to reduce the poverty rate and uplift the lives of up to 6 million Filipinos. President Duterte is set to sign the House version of the Bangsamoro Basic Law before his State of the Nation address. The Department of Budget and Management pushes for a budget reform bill to improve the country's spending. And Kobe Paras forgoes his professional plans to join the UP Fighting Maroons. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. As President Rodrigo Duterte prepares to give his latest State of the Nation address, the government reiterates the administration's goal to uplift Filipino lives by committing to poverty alleviation. Benj Bondok has this top story.
The government is committed to reduce poverty rate from 21% to 14% or equivalent to lifting about 6 million Filipinos out of poverty by 2022. Human Development and Poverty Reduction Cluster Chair Virginia Orogo said poverty alleviation is the main thrust of the Philippine Development Plan 2017 to 2022. The PDP 2017 to 2022 is geared towards the country's long-term vision adopted in Executive Order No. 5 or Ambition Natin 2040, which includes the eradication of poverty. Orogo said 80 programs and services converge across 35 national line, attached, and coordinative agencies as part of the Duterte administration's goal to alleviate poverty, particularly in rural areas. Based on HDPRC's documents, poverty in the Philippines remains to be a predominantly rural phenomenon, with 75% of the poor residing in rural areas. Among the basic sectors, poverty incidence is highest among farmers and fisherfolk, far above the national average of 21.6%. To achieve poverty reduction target, the HDPRC has set its focus on developing agriculture and industry, which are considered the most important sectors for job generation. Orogo said the HDPRC will continue to exert all efforts to improve the quality of life of Filipinos by investing more in education, health, create more opportunities, increase social protection and community engagements, and coordinate more at the local level. However, Orogo emphasized that the government should get support from every Filipino to achieve a poverty-free Philippines by 2040. She calls on everyone to support President Duterte's directives to help our Filipino people, especially the needy, disadvantaged, marginalized, and vulnerable sectors of our society. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondok.
The Manila International Airport Authority will soon start the rehabilitation of the Ninoy Aquino International Airport Terminal 2. The project aims to give passengers more convenience in preparation for the terminal realignment plan, which is set to take place also within the year. MIA Media Affairs Division Head Jess Martinez said the rehabilitation will commence soon and that MIA will make announcements to the public regarding this. Terminal 2 is currently being used by flag carrier Philippine Airlines for its international and domestic flights. Earlier, the MIA had planned to beat the August 31 terminal realignment deadline given by Congress. This move aims to decongest the country's main gateway. When this realignment takes effect, NAIA Terminal 2 will be used solely for domestic flights. Martinez, however, says rehabilitation work may take more than a year, adding that they also need to consider the inconvenience it would cost to passengers. Martinez clarifies that the terminal will continue normal operations. Government officials have signed a joint memorandum circular on the Pantawid Pasada program, which aims to provide fuel subsidies to jeepney operators and drivers. The Department of Transportation, Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board or LTFRB, Department of Budget and Management, Energy, and the Land Bank of the Philippines signed the joint memorandum circular on the Pantawid Pasada program. Debit cards will be provided to the beneficiaries, which shall be processed by Land Bank. The distribution of cards will start on Thursday, July 12 at the Land Transportation Office in Quezon City. The program will provide a 5,000 peso subsidy to over 170,000 legitimate PUJ franchise holders this year. Budget Secretary Benjamin Diokno says the fuel subsidy will cover the incremental increases on the excise tax on diesel under the train law. The law has imposed an excise tax of 2 pesos and 50 centavos per liter on diesel for 2018. The subsidy program is in accordance with the train law, which calls for the provision of fuel vouchers to qualified PUJ franchise holders. The Philippine Drug Enforcement Agency urges the Department of Education to reconsider its proposal to hold mandatory drug tests for students in grade 4 and above. PDEA Director General Aaron Aquino says DepEd had asked to amend a provision of the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act, which requires parental consent for students undergoing drug tests. DepEd also insists on holding random drug tests instead of mandatory checks. Aquino, however, says much has changed since the law was passed in 2002. From 2011 until June 30, 2018, over 4,000 minors have been in the drug trade, the youngest being 9 years old. Aquino made the statement as PDEA signed a memorandum of agreement with the Philippine Coast Guard and Marina to stop the smuggling of illegal drugs through the seas. The Bangsamoro Basic Law is one step closer to completion after President Rodrigo Duterte speeds up its passage before he gives his State of the Nation address. Miguel Hill reports on this development.
Malacanang said President Rodrigo Duterte will sign into law the landmark Bangsamoro Basic Law before his third State of the Nation address on July 23. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque made this announcement after Duterte convinced leaders of the Senate and the House of Representatives to adopt the House version of the bill. He says the BBL's passage will be assured with the President's intervention. According to Roque, the House version of the BBL provides that the 6 municipalities of Lanao del Norte and the 39 barangays of North Cotabato could vote to join the BBL territory in a referendum to be conducted on the mother territory of the areas involved. Duterte certified the BBL as urgent on May 29. The following day, both houses of Congress approved the proposed bill seeking to end the decades-old conflict in Mindanao. According to media reports, the bicameral conference committee report on the BBL will be submitted for ratification by the 2 chambers of Congress in their respective morning sessions on July 23. Duterte is expected to sign it into law in time for the joint session at 4 p.m. where the President will deliver his third SONA at the Batasang Pambansa in Quezon City. The BBL seeks to abolish the current autonomous region in Muslim Mindanao and is envisioned to grant wider self-rule to the predominantly Muslim provinces and cities in Mindanao. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
Security preparations are underway even as the armed forces of the Philippines sees a very low chance that violence may erupt during President Rodrigo Duterte's third State of the Nation address. The AFP will be deploying 600 officers and enlisted personnel to augment the security measures being implemented by the police during this year's SONA. AFP Public Affairs Office Chief Colonel Noel De Toyato says they would be able to monitor if there is any widespread plan of a coordinated attack or disruption. De Toyato said the military is still confirming efforts that local terrorist groups are planning to disrupt the SONA. Meanwhile, film director Binibining Joyce Bernal has begun meeting with RTVM and the technical working group to prepare for the SONA. Presidential Communications Operations Office Secretary Martin Andanar says they have discussed the technical aspects of the upcoming address. Bernal is set to hold an ocular inspection with RTVM Director Demic Pabalan at the Batasan Pambansa. Still to come, police look into a business rivalry angle in the killing of Mayor Ferdinand Bote. The Department of Budget and Management pushes for a budget reform bill to improve the country's spending. These and more when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Kinilala ang iba't ibang inisyatibo ng mga kabataan na mula sa Iligan City, Lanao del Sur at Lanao del Norte para sa kanilang ginawang proyekto upang isulong ang kapayapaan sa ilalim ng Project Yakap. Ang Project Yakap o Youth Amplifying, Co-Creating and Advocating Peace ay isang leadership development program na isinagawa sa 5 buwan kung saan layunin nitong palakasin ang partisipasyon ng kabataan sa pagpapalaganap ng mga istoryang pangkapayapaan. Nabuo ang Project Yakap sa pamamagitan ng pagtutulungan ng mga voluntaryo mula sa Mindanao State University, Iligan Institute of Technology at United States Government alumni kung saan nagsilbing inspirasyon ang kanilang mga karanasan sa mga evacuation center at ang kanilang mga kaibigan na apektado ng Marawi Siege.
We thought of creating a program of bringing in youth in the conversation about peace and security, because we believe that if we talk about securing our home, making our home safe and making our community peaceful, I think we need to include youth in the conversation.
Nagkaroon ng isang workshop noong Pebrero kung saan nagtipon-tipon ang 27 na kabataan mula sa probinsya ng Lanao at hinati sa 5 grupo upang bumuo at magtupad ng iba't ibang proyekto upang isulong ang kapayapaan sa kanilang komunidad. Ito ay binuo ng Kulturismo, Tanaw, Lunhaw Lanao, Peace Wins at Project Malaya. Ang Project Yakap ay pinondohan ng gobyerno ng Estados Unidos sa pamamagitan ng U.S. Government Alumni Community sa pakikipagtulungan sa U.S. Embassy in the Philippines at ng College of Arts and Social Sciences ng MSU IIT.
Project Yakap! Youth Amplifying, Co-Creating, and Advocating Peace!
Kasama si Lou Antonio para sa Bayan, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Police are looking into business rivalry as a possible motive behind the murder of Nueva Ecija Mayor Ferdinand Bote. PNP Chief Oscar Albayalde says Bote may have had competition in a business related to the National Irrigation Administration. Albayalde says this may be why Bote was shot on his way out of the NIA office. Albayalde has confirmed reports that 2 suspects are presently under police custody, including the supposed gunman working for a gun-for-hire group. Earlier reports quoting Bicol Police Regional Director Chief Superintendent Arnel Escobal named one of the suspects as Florencio Suarez, who was arrested at a checkpoint in Del Gallego, Camarines Sur. Albayalde says they are still looking for at least 5 other suspects, which are also believed to be part of a gun-for-hire group. The government remains firm in its decision not to allow the building of a casino on Boracay as rehabilitation of the island continues. Department of Local and Interior Government Officer in Charge Secretary Eduardo Año assured the public that the government will not allow construction of a casino on Boracay Island. Año said even the cabinet secretaries, particularly Boracay Rehabilitation Interagency Task Force Chief Environment Secretary Roy Simatu, opposed the construction of casino in the popular tourist destination. Macau-based Galaxy Entertainment Group and its Filipino partner AB Leisure Exponent Incorporated revealed the plan to build a $500 million integrated resort casino complex in a 23-hectare property in Barangay Manok Manok. President Duterte has repeatedly expressed his stand against any casino in Boracay, saying it would not benefit the Filipinos. Duterte said he would give Boracay back to the island's natives by way of land reform once a 6-month rehabilitation is finished, since it is a forestal and agricultural land. As part of the rehabilitation efforts, the task force is improving the island's sewerage system to restore the pristine waters of the famous beach destination. The Department of Budget and Management will strongly push for the passage of the budget reform bill that seeks to modernize budgetary system in the country. Budget Secretary Benjamin Diokno says the move is in line with its goal to be one of the top 10 budget institutions in the world. Diokno said the budget reforms will enable the country to spend more efficiently and transparently. Diokno says the law will modernize the public management system by addressing key gaps in alignment with international budgeting standards and best practices. The bill has been approved by Congress on March 28. Apart from the budget bill, Diokno has identified other priority legislative agenda such as the Freedom of Information Bill, Unified National Identification System Act, and an act right-sizing the national government to improve public service delivery. Diokno also revealed that the Philippines has received an open budget index score of 67 out of 100, making it number 1 in Asia in terms of fiscal openness and number 17 in the world. Investigators have found a black Toyota Hilux that is a physical match of the vehicle used in the ambush of 13 Martires City Vice Mayor Alexander Lubigan. The Toyota Hilux was found abandoned in the Mabaco Pantihan Bridge, Tulay B village of Maragondon, Cavite on Wednesday. The vehicle had no plate or any conduction sticker. The Lubigan family is hopeful that the discovery of the abandoned vehicle will finally lead the police to his killers. Lubigan will be laid to rest on Sunday, July 15. Lubigan and his driver Romulo Guillermer died on the spot after their vehicle was riddled with bullets by still unidentified suspects. Authorities are looking at politics as one of the possible motives after Lubigan had signified his intent to run for a mayoralty seat in 2019. Dingras town in Ilocos Norte has been placed under a state of calamity due to the high number of dengue cases already reported since June. Mayor Erdio Valenzuela says since the onset of the rainy season, there have been 66 dengue cases already recorded with 1 death. At present, fumigation activities are being carried out in Dingras to contain the spread of the disease. Valenzuela says they have mobilized village officials and barangay health workers to spearhead the cleanliness drive. Our municipal health unit is also on top of the situation to arrest this problem. As Dingras town was put under a state of calamity, the mayor assures they have enough funds to contain the mosquito-borne disease. Up next, over 52,000 metric tons of imported rice are expected to arrive and augment the country's rice supply this month. Kobe Paras joins the UP Fighting Maroons. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
On behalf of the Philippine government, I express fond gratitude for the generous support by the government of Japan to the great task of rebuilding the city of Manila. Large parts of this beautiful city, by the way, were heavily damaged last year after ISIS-inspired armed militants tried to forcibly occupy it. The grant program we formally signed today amounts to 2 billion yen, or about 18.6 million US dollars. It will be used as budgetary support to finance projects and activities under the Baon Moravi Complaints Rehabilitation Recovery Plan. Meanwhile, as we respond to the most immediate needs for the reconstruction and rehabilitation of Marawi, we thank the government of Japan for its immediate response. We are extremely grateful for the empathy and sense of urgency that made these grants possible. I would like to assure the Ambassador and Chief Representative that we are very keenly aware that these funds come from the taxpayers of Japan and that we will honor them by not wasting those funds. Thank you very much.
The National Food Authority is expecting the arrival of more than 52,000 metric tons of imported rice this month. The shipment will complete the 250,000 metric tons imported from Vietnam and Thailand via a government-to-government scheme. NFA Administrator Jason Aquino says they have delivered over 42,000 metric tons of rice to designated NFA warehouses, while over 154,000 are still being unloaded. He says all outlets except Tacloban have received their initial allocations. Meanwhile, the NFA has intensified its monitoring of the distribution of cheap NFA rice to ensure that it reaches the marginalized sector. The agency urges the public to report traders who will attempt to use NFA rice for profit. Kobe Paras gave basketball fans the shock of their lives as the University of the Philippines announced his commitment to play for the Fighting Maroons. The 6'6" high-flying winger followed the footsteps of his father, PBA star Benji Paras, who once donned the UP jersey back in the 80s. Paras cited UP's basketball program along with its world-class education as his basis to consider the academe as a place to transfer. He previously played with Creighton and California State Northridge at the U.S. National Collegiate Athletic Association. Maroons coach Bo Parasol says they are fortunate to have a talent like Kobe with the team. Paras, like fellow LaSalle Green Hills alumnus Richie Rivero, will redshirt the UAAP season 81 this year and will become eligible to play next year. He joins brothers Juan and Javi Gomez Del Llano and former Perpetual Help big man Bright Acuete in what could be the strongest potential starting lineup UP has ever built. For our feature story, the Department of Social Welfare and Development is recognizing the efforts of its staff as they continue to serve communities affected by the crisis in Marawi City. PIA correspondent Sweet Lukman files this report.
The Department of Social Welfare and Development serves as the face and hand of the government during the crisis facing the Filipino people, reminding the victims that they are in parallel with the dark stages of their life and a helping hand to cover and immediately deliver aid. More than a year after the Marawi fight broke out, the DSWD has also been involved with the affected communities for more than a year. According to Maha Kasan from Coronadal City, she has been in this profession for 4 years. For her, the Marawi crisis is different because they have long been involved with the evacuees as compared to the other areas of their area. Despite the sacrifices required, Kasan is happy because she felt of use to serve the people. In the latest record as of June 20, 2018 of the DSWD, up to 46,050 families have returned to 72 barangays in Marawi and received a DSWD assistance, while 15,664 families are still home-based or residing in their relatives' homes and friends in neighboring areas and other regions. 920 families go to 23 evacuation centers in northern Mindanao and ARMM regions. In this particular situation, the department is aware of the need for continuous social services and therefore ensures that their forces are focused on Marawi operations. DSWD also needed additional hands like field worker, encoder, howler, and camp manager to better serve the affected residents. Khalid Maulay were among those who had been assisting fellow IDPs since November 2017. Their house was destroyed in Barangay Moncado, Kadingilan, within the most affected area. People like Maha Kasan and Khalid Maulay have contributed greatly to the ongoing rehabilitation of Marawi. They both came from different regions and both care about our Maranao brothers who are working hard to get up. They are also the department's face, the government of care and monitoring for Marawi's resurgence. Together with Donabel Magsino for PNA Newsroom, Sweet Lukman, Philippine Information Agency.
Let's now check out the weather forecast for Metro Manila and the rest of the country. Here's a recap of the day's top stories. The government commits to reduce the poverty rate and uplifts the lives of up to 6 million Filipinos. President Duterte is set to sign the House version of the Bangsamoro Basic Law before his State of the Nation address. The Department of Budget and Management pushes for a budget reform bill to improve the country's spending. And Kobe Paras forgoes his professional plans to join the UP Fighting Maroons. Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. As the week slowly winds down, make an effort to do what you can while you still can. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I'm William Theo. Good day.